Hello YouTube, this is Daniel and welcome to yet another video, and it is definitely a computer video because this video is going to be demonstrating a few things that I got yesterday at the thrift store or thrift stores. Alrighty, and some garage sales. So yesterday I went to my aunt's house for I guess for a sleepover, and I went to my aunt's house for a sleepover, and the following day, this was on Saturday. The following day, which was Sunday, we all went to a bunch of thrift stores and garage sales in the area. So eventually, I was able to rack up a lot of computer components during that day. And I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've gotten. And I'm going to start with my messy desk. As you can tell, my room is very messy right now. And I definitely plan to clean it up because of all of my new stuff I got. Well, yeah, and yes, what you just saw was a Zip 100 disk drive, and that is definitely one of the things I got. So we're going to begin by starting what the junk is on my desk. And if you haven't noticed already, my keyboard looks a little different. Alrighty. So, here we have is a software called PC Relocator. It is the easiest way to move your stuff to a new PC, and it comes with one of these data transfer cables. USB mail to USB mail. What does it say on there? It is some, wait. It says USB to USB data transfer cable. And it says it does migration and stuff. But I was wondering if it's possible to actually transfer data between computers using this cable without using the software and the booklet. I just use the cable. So I bought that for 50 cents, I think. So I'm going to set this, I guess, on the floor. And then, what else did I get? I think the rest is all hooked up to my new computer. And that was at a garage sale, so I'm gonna, yeah. I also got this USB to, I believe, Centronics port, I think. This is I'm not really sure exactly what kind of port this is. Alright, so anyway, I got a USB to parallel converter, or what, printer port. Let me just call it printer port. So parallel to printer port, USB to parallel port converter. So I can use this with my HP DeskJet 982C. Actually, speaking of this printer, at the thrift store we stopped by a Goodwill, and I saw this very same printer on the shelf. So that was kind of interesting. But anyway, this is a simple USB to parallel converter. USB port's not plugged in. Oh, I could have just looked that all out, but yep. So, two of my new things. I also got what I believe is an HDMI extension cord, because it's got that same interface that HDMI uses on both sides. But if it is not an HDMI extension cord, then that would be alright, because I got it for 50 cents anyway, so it won't be a total loss, and it might be useful some other day. What else did I get? So all of these three items were from a garage sale, but I think my prize of those garage sales is this. This is an Iomega Zip 750 megabyte USB 2.0 drive. I have heard of the Iomega Zip drive, zip drive era. This was about the mid-90s to early 2000s. This was kind of somewhat popular. People used it, but people kept complaining that these kind of drives are not all that reliable, even though they could hold rather massive amount of storage. I've seen these drives before, but not in newer stores. I mean, I haven't not actually seen these on the shelf new before. But I got this at the garage sale, the same garage sale I got these wires from. But it says it's compatible with PC and Mac, and it reads the 750 megabyte drive discs. It says right here, reads and writes to 750 megabytes and 250 megabyte zip discs, but it only reads 100 megabyte discs, and that is really true. It only reads 100 megabytes. I tried copying a file to this drive from to a 100 megabyte disk, and it didn't work. So that has been proven, and it is true. But anyway, I actually have never seen a 750 megabyte drive before. The biggest I've seen was 250 megabytes, and I've never seen the 750 megabyte discs, because the highest I've seen was 250 megabytes. I only have one 250 megabyte disc in this house, and maybe about 4 or 5 100 megabyte discs. But you can buy these 750 megabyte discs on Amazon for like, I think a 3-pack for $4. It's something really cheap. But yeah, it uses USB 2.0, judging by the high speed setting on the top. When you flip to the back, there's the drive. It says it is compatible with Macintosh computer with built-in USB connection, compatible with OS 0.6.9.x, USB 1.1, or Mac OS 10.1 and greater, USB 1.1. It does not say it is compatible with USB 2. So I'm assuming if you use it with a Mac, it does not support USB 2. For PC, it says a 200 megahertz or higher computer with certified USB controller, in other words, certified high-speed USB 2, so that is a USB 2 drive. Oh, what the heck. It says USB 2 on the box, doesn't it? Yeah, okay, fail. That was a major fail. So yes, this is a USB 2.0 drive. It says certified high-speed USB 2.0 controller required for optimum performance. Microsoft Windows 98 USB 1.1 only, or Windows 98 2nd edition, Millennium 2000 or XP USB 1.1, and high-speed USB 2.0. So it looks like versions 98 SE all the way to XP are compatible with USB 1.1 and USB 2.0. But only Windows 98 is compatible with 1.1 only. So, and it is compatible with PC and Mac. More badges. So, yeah. Blah. Alrighty, so now what are these specs? Alrighty, so there's 50 times write, 50 time read write, and 50 time read, and that's max. And the 50 time read, it has an asterisk at the end of it. Now I'm assuming that has to do with perhaps the 100 megabyte discs being read. And it does say disk is not included. This came with the drive, the USB cable, which is your standard printer cable. It also came with a power adapter and a software on the CD, and I don't think it came with the manual. But so the 750 megabyte discs are pretty much identical to the 250s and the 100s. So that is my new Iomega Zip 750 megabyte USB 2.0 drive. Alrighty, and I got all this stuff at the garage sale. So now we're gonna move on to stuff I got at. Oh, by the way, all that was just for $4. All of that, including the drive. So now we're on to stuff I got from Goodwill or Thrift store and what other stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys this one. This, guys, is a much more older version of that drive that I have on the floor. This is a Iomega Zip 100 Parallel Port. As you can see, it's a lot more bulkier than that drive right there. And it says it has 3 drives in one. Expand your hard drive capacity with unlimited capacity, only 100 megabytes at a time. Take it with you. Zip drive and discs are portable. Back up your hard drive, fast and easy. It says it comes with a copy of Zip Tools on a 100 megabyte zip disk, $100 value, for Windows 95, Windows 3X, 3.x, so 3.0 or 3.1, and DOS 4.0 or higher, or 4, yeah. So this is very compatible. So the new 100 megabyte standard in portable storage. It says one zip disk holds 70 floppies, up to 5 times faster than your floppy drive. And it says it is the new 100 megabyte standard in portable storage. This only lived for 5 years. It's kind of a sad thing. What does that say on there? It says 1991 taxes and personal finances. So this thing can only read 100 megabyte disks. Just saying that on the side, it says a drive. So it says it's for PCs, notebooks, and laptops. And this came with everything. So I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. This is the drive, I think, running on a Mac. There it is, plugged into the parallel port. So all that neat stuff. Now, what this does not say, quiet and energy efficient. That is actually true about the quiet. It's kind of funny because the new drive I have, the 750 megabyte drive, is actually a lot louder than this thing, and this thing is from 1994, which is kind of amazing. So, some more specs. Okay, here's the software specs. For PC users, and this is for only PC users, one of the following, a 386 processor or higher, one of the following operating system environments: Windows 95, 3.1, 3.11, DOS 4.x, or higher. So I made a mistake about 3.x. It's only 3.1 and 3.11. Optional OS2 software available. So compatible with both Windows and OS2. And with some more help, with some with a little bit of modification, it will work under Linux. But so you have to, if you want to get one of these for your Mac, you have to be seriously careful, especially when you're looking for one, especially when you have an older Mac. So if you have a Mac that actually has a SCSI port and no parallel port whatsoever, you need to buy this zip drive, the SCSI port version, because if you have an old Mac, like a Mac from 496 or 97, around that era, this will not be compatible with it because this requires a SCSI port. The Mac uses a SCSI port, and you need to buy the ZIP 100 SCSI port model. They do make the SCSI port version. They made 3 versions of this disk for the outer for external use. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the stuff that went inside this box, and it does say 3 drives in one, and I'm not really sure what that means. There's the Iomega logo. It says $1, and behind it, you can't, I don't know if you guys can see it, it says $10. I actually got this for $35 at the thrift store, but thankfully there was a sale going on, so all items that were marked with a red price tag, which this one had, were 75% off. So I actually got this for $9 roughly. So that's very awesome. Oh, and by the way, if you were to use this with a laptop, with a Apple laptop, again during like 97 or earlier, then you're going to need to buy like a converter to convert the big SCSI to a small SCSI. And again, it's in the stuff that came with it. So mine was fully loaded. It came with the manual, the power supply, the drive, the interface cable, one extra zip disk, zip tools, and it came with a bunch of manuals. I think I said that already. And a lot of stuff. Well, it came with an accessories booklet. So right here we have a user's guide for getting the most out of your drive. I don't really want to go through that. Right here we got the installation guide showing you how to install this on your computer. Let's plop that down. So now to get through the fun stuff, for me it is. So right here we have the accessories booklet for what this drive would come with back in the day. For $30 you could buy a carrying case, multi-purpose. You can get a mini case for $15. I bet you can get these for like $2 on Amazon now. $10 each. You can get a zip disk organizer. With $30 you can buy a 20-pack of 100 megabyte zip disks. For $3 again, you can buy a 3-pack of dual disc cases. Oh, and by the way, these these are compatible with both the discs with or without their dual cases. So here we have extra 100 megabyte zip disks. Available in singles, 3-packs, and 10-packs, reformatted for Windows, DOS, or Macintosh. Call 100 Mind Stuff or visit your local retailer. I wonder what that number will connect you to now. Because I believe Iomega has been bought out by EMC and Lenovo. At least that's what I believe. Right here we have an extra zip data cable. An extra cable makes transportation between two locations easier. It says $19.95 each. There it says SCSI part number 10040 and parallel printer port, or whatever PPT stands for. I'm assuming parallel port, part number 1104. What? No, 10041. Okay. And this is that converter I was telling you about for laptops. Zip PowerBook adapter, HDI SCSI. Allows you to connect the zip drive to your PowerBook. $20 each. That, yeah. And there's no price for this, but it says PC customers who want to use a SCSI adapter other than the zip zoom may need an optional cable or connector. Call for details. So I'm not really sure what that other connection. I'm assuming that this connection is for that side, and that goes to some other thing. I don't know what. That is the same. That's the SCSI connector, and that's the DB25 connector. That would probably plug into that DB25 connector, but I do not know where this would go. I'm assuming it would go to that zip thing on the back of the computer. And yes, you will see whatever the zip zoom is in a moment. Okay, there we go. There's a zip zoom. Zip Zoom, a SCSI adapter that allows you to use the zip SCSI drive on your PC. So basically, if you purchased the SCSI version of the Iomega Zip Drive 100, and you accidentally bought the Mac version, which is the zip SCSI version, then you can buy yourself for another $60 one of these things, which will allow you to use that. And it is PCI, I believe, not NuBus. And it's only for the PC, I believe. Wait, already. The Zip Transfer Kit saves you money and makes transportation between home and office simple. So this looks like a compilation pack. Includes a zip data cable and a standard USA power supply. So I'm assuming that this will just send you stuff for in case you take your drive on the go. That way you can have both a computer zip data cable for work or something. So you have just bring your drive with you and you can just go wherever you need to. SCSI part number 10118, parallel port part number 10119. So instead of that just being hyphened wherever that is, so just instead of that being an acronym, it's completely full. Okay, so what's this? Zip power supply. That's basically what this comes with. Zip power supply. An extra power supply makes transportation between two locations easier. No United Kingdom version or any other country. $20 each. Universal switching power supply. Smaller, lighter, and usable in most locations throughout the world. So notice how that power supply, the power plug at the end is a PC type power connector. So that's kind of interesting. And a standard plug, so it's very interesting. So I'm assuming it's compatible with both 220 volt lines and 120 volt lines. Or 110 volt lines. Alrighty, I'm going all over the place. Alrighty. There's a zip tool software. It says it's $40 each per software, even though on the box it says it's $100 software value. So, don't lose that disc, because you're going to pay $40 for it if you still need it to. And this is the Omega tools for the OS2 operating system, $9.95 each. Or if you wanted to, you could download this for free using the BBS system, Iomega's BBS system, for no charge whatsoever. And then here's some optional software by some company. I don't know if that's Omega. Is it Omega? I'm not sure. Then anyway, DiskFit Pro supports all mountable volumes. It says it's only for Mac OS 9 only. And then retrospect, only for Mac OS. $120. And I think that is it. Alrighty. That was a long video part. Alrighty, what else did we have to get with this? So we also have the special upgrade offer. Sends you this uninstaller if you wanted to. $20 software value. Pretty sure you can get this for like $2 now. And the attention for connecting a printer to your zip drive. And notice, look at that dot matrix printer. Alrighty. I want about to wrap up pretty soon. So we have a welcome to zip drive. I don't want to make this video no longer than 30 minutes. So welcome to zip drive. This is actually what all of that stuff when it came in with. So it even came with the original folder or envelope. And here's this extra zip disk. This is the zip tool software that it comes with. I have the zip tool software somewhere. Place is unknown. I think that might be it. Yep, that's a zip tool software. Don't know why they give you a line to add information. But whoever owned this thing before me actually had probably so the owner who had this drive before probably did use it, because the other disc that it came with was this. It's a Fujifilm by IBM, or just says Fujifilm IBM, Zip 100, and it says pictures. There are pictures on here, and I did run a virus scan, and this thing checks out, and it's clean. So it came with 2 zip discs, one with the software and one with the pictures on it. I'm going to erase this when I get a chance, because I'd like to use those discs, and I don't have a lot of them. In fact, what you guys are looking at right here are pretty much all the ones that I have. So I have this one disc, and I got a 250 megabyte disc, which I can only use and write to on this drive. So anyway, here is the Zip 100 Parallel Port drive. There it is. It's connected to the printer, right into this guy, which works. And this connects to my computer at the back where the printer port would go, or the printer would plug into. This actually requires a little bit of modification on Linux to actually get this to work. I will post the instructions on the website, the website for the instructions on the internet. There are no drivers required, for at least for my installation it did not. And all I had to do was just add one line to a code and then reboot the computer, and it started working. Alrighty, so about 7 minutes left in the video. Let's go ahead and open some discs. Right here is an old Iomega zip disk that I was inherited by my father. I don't know if he gave this to me or I stole it off him. I really don't remember. But it's a Zip 250 drive, and this zip disk would work with this. I have tried to take it apart. This was a long time ago, like 2008. So I didn't even know what a zip disk was back then. All I knew was, I thought it was some like standard, but So this does not really work anymore, and that's why this disk is still stuck inside of it. Maybe in my next video, I'm going to show you guys me hooking this drive up actually to my Power Mac G4, because I'm going to be using this drive with that G4 cube. But anyway, I might try to eject it when I do that video. Oh yeah, here's the floppy disk with the software on for this drive. DOS Win and Win95, November 96. Okay. Oh, by the way, never put these floppy disks into this thing. Really, don't do that, because these are not going to work. In fact, it might damage the drive. But anyway, that, I guess, is my zip drives. And I did not demonstrate them yet, because I'm actually going to. What was I thinking? So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to show you guys this zip drive right here. This one takes a little bit longer to load than this one, But this one has auto eject through the software. This one does not. This is hardware eject only. So I'm going to pop this in the drive. So I'm going to let you hear it. So right now it's reading and writing. It's busy, in other words. Pretty soon I'm going to need to charge this down to 33 minutes. Alrighty, it looks like it loaded the disk. So we're going to go over to my computer. And let's see if it got it. Alright, whoop. Dang it, dropped my iPad. My iPad has seen so many drops in its lifetime since I've had it 2 years ago. And it had one screen cracking, but I went to Apple Care to fix that. I actually cracked that screen on my iPad 2 weeks after I got it, so fail that. But either way, I've had that iPad for almost 2 years, and quite honestly, it has still survived all the droppings, except for that first time, but anyway. So I double-click the drive, and it should mount it. And remember, this is all going through the serial port on the back of this computer. The DB25 port, so it is not going to be that fast. In fact, I think the speed is rather slow. I thought I saw the speed on this somewhere, but I think it was something small, like 7 megabytes per second, which I think back then was pretty fast. I'm not sure, but in the next video I'll probably address that. So let's go ahead and play a video of mine, or let's just play this. Nah. So here we have I've inserted the 250 megabyte disk, the Zip Tools disk into the drive, and it has opened successfully. I'm going to go ahead and double click a video and play it from the drive. Yeah, this is loading. This is running from the drive. The sound cut off. I'm gonna let that buffer. As you can see, that drive is trying to process. That's why people don't typically store videos on this and play them off the drive. They would copy them from the drive, then play it on the local machine. The baud rate on these serial ports aren't that fast. But that is okay, so, yeah. Alright people, that is my 100 megabyte zip drive with the parallel port model. Thank you for watching that. I'm going to go ahead and eject the drive. And we're going to go ahead and test out the 750 megabyte. So, see hardware eject. I ejected it on the computer, but I didn't eject it on here. Well, the way this thing ejects like a gun. It like, it could actually pop out on the table. In fact, this does hardware eject, software eject as well, other than the button. Okay. So I'm gonna see if it flies on the floor. Alrighty. This one's really loud. I guess it's ready. Either that or I did not plug it in. I turn this thing on. I don't think I plugged it in. Yeah, I did not. Alrighty. I think I can just plug it back in and it'll start working. There we go. There we go. Alrighty. That's why I gotta clean this up. I tripped almost twice. Alrighty, so now so this is the other drive. Or it's already been mounted and loaded, so we're just gonna go ahead and double click and reopen that same video and see if the video's playback improved. It's actually detecting their faces. So far, so good. So yep, that was pretty fast. So I'm going to be using this drive with my Power Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys. Maybe it might shoot out on the floor. It may or may not. But either way, it shoots out pretty far. So I'm going to go ahead and eject it. Aw, almost went out on the floor. So close. But this eject mechanism, I don't know if the Zip 100 drive's mechanism is worn out. But they both are very clean, and this one still has that plastic on it. I think it's plastic because it doesn't look like it should belong there because of the air bubbles. But alrighty, people, this is my Zip 750 megabyte disk drive and my Zip 100 disk drive, and these are my disk drives, and thank you for watching those drives. Alrighty, now we are down to my last two items, I believe. Here we have right here is a Spanish keyboard, and I will tell you the story real quickly about this keyboard. This keyboard did not know originally it was Spanish, but this keyboard is very tiny. It does not have a numpad, but it is very small, and it has pretty good feature, like amount of buttons for how small it is. And this is the keyboard I want to be using for when I take my laptop or my computer or any computer with me on a trip. I can take this little keyboard with me and use it, because I always prefer using a keyboard, and I do like the typing feel on some laptops. So this has got a laptop style keyboard. And I do like the typing feel on it. And it's got volume control. I don't know what that does. I'm assuming it maybe opens the computer up. Email button. Again, I don't know what that is either. It looks like a movie button. Media player maybe. Stop and play and pause. Don't know why there's no fast and forward. Would have been nice. But numlock, scroll lock, and caps lock. And again, this is in Spanish, so at least that's what my father told me. And my dad said because it has this kind of key, that's kind of a dead giveaway that is a Spanish keyboard. But it does work. I don't know if it works yet. I haven't tried it. And I do like the typing feel on it. I guess when I open up to my next video, I'm going to go see if this will work. So, alright. So the enter keys and the shift keys are not labeled, but I do certainly hope this will work, because I really want to use this keyboard. And I am want to take Spanish in high school, so I guess I'll understand the keys a little bit more. So here we have block num. Assuming block whatever that means. I'm assuming that means lock, because num lock, that would make sense. And that one says block also, and that's where the caps lock key would go. So that could be caps lock, and we need scroll lock. That's probably scroll lock. And I'm just assuming, guessing, not really sure. But either way, the keys are really similar. You don't have the sidebar keys, so for example, well, actually the keys are a little bit similar, but they're not really that similar. But either way, I think it'll do working, and it uses a PS2 interface. I don't know, the cable's kind of long. Manufactured by a company called Delux. This is the model K5000. Complies with FCC. Don't really know if that's true. FCC, not FFC. And it says it has QC9 pass. Quality control, maybe? I actually have no idea what QC stands for. So if you guys can tell me in the description exactly what that means, I'd really appreciate it. This keyboard even has a little feet for propping it up, which is very awesome. Alright, so this is the Deluxe KL5000 Deluxe K5000 keyboard. So that is that. So again, that is using a PS2 interface. Alrighty, and our last thing to show you guys for the show is this Belkin keyboard. This is from Goodwill. I got this for $2 to $65. Oh, by the way, that keyboard was $11. in unknown condition. So this is the Belkin. I'm gonna have to flip my camera upside down to see the rest. So this is the Belkin KB6868 or the F8E206 PS2. So it looks like they may have made a USB version because the PS2 mark is not as bold as the rest. It's made by Belkin, complies with FCC, and there's a serial number, made in China. This keyboard is in fantastic condition. It is nice and clean. All the screws are shiny even. It even has all the legs. And it's got a little thing to actually run the wire through. Oop. But it is not a buckling spring keyboard. In fact, it's just a rubber dome key switch, I believe. But I do like the sound the keys make when you press on it. And another thing I like about this keyboard is it has a power, a sleep, and a wake up button. So on the BIOS, I set this set the keyboard so instead of typing the password to turn it on, I set to power on through the key switch keyboard 98. So now every time I turn the computer on, I hit the power button on the keyboard, it turns the machine on, which is very nice. So this is a Windows keyboard, and it is using a PS2 interface. Not a 5-pin DIN connector, unlike the Russian keyboard. I think this is going to replace the Russian keyboard, but I will keep this Russian keyboard for perhaps to replace some other keyboard I might need in the future. But either way, this is going to be replacing the Russian keyboard. Even the spacebar stabilizer works, and has a scroll lock. Scroll lock does not seem to work in Linux. Caps lock works, and there's a certain button called key lock. Don't know what that does. But all the way, since adding these three system switches, it had to shift these switches down, because normally these switches on the top right here would be right where these would be. But since they added these, which is awesome, they had to shift this down, and now it's touching the arrow key. But alrighty, people. Thank you for looking at my lengthy video about my new stuff that I got at the thrift store. I will see you guys in the next video, where I'm going to be going ahead and putting my Amiga zip drive into and plugging it into my iMac. I'm at my Power Mac G4. I'm going to tell you guys how I will do that in the next video. So thank you for watching, and again, leave a comment below if you have one. And I'll see you in the next one.